and welcome to another episode of the Road Coach Podcast, where I share everything I have learned from years of living on the road, research, and experience, so that you can not only survive but thrive even when you are out of your element. If you're listening to this episode on your favorite podcasting app and you have audio only, I highly suggest you go to the YouTube page, youtube.com/, the Road Coach Podcast, so that you can follow along with me and see exactly what I am showing on my screen as I go through this. So today, on today's show, I would like to talk about the perfect protein shake in my mind. So this is something that I have sort of developed and tweaked over the years to try and find the best thing that works for me. And I try to find a combination of lower calorie, higher protein, complete nutrition that helps me get everything that I need, but also stay ahead of my protein goals while staying in a calorie deficit on a daily basis. So when you're at home, this is much easier to do, obviously, because you have all your ingredients with you around you. But I've developed it so that I can take it on the road relatively easily, just a shaker cup and a couple of Ziploc bags. And that way, the first meal of my day can be something that I know is giving the nutrition that I need get through the day, and also keep macros in check and all of my vitamins and minerals. Um, Not the only thing, obviously, that I eat, and not the only supplement or whatever that I take. And we'll go through supplements in subsequent episodes as well. Some of the things that I think are most important for your daily nutrition and your daily regimen. But for today, I just wanted to talk about my go-to protein shake. So it starts, I'm on a website right now that you can see from the video if you're on YouTube, called wholeearthc.com, or wholeearthc.com is the website. And this is a product that I believe has now been purchased by Natural Factors. Yep, Natural Factors here. But it is produced in Kitlam, BC, which is the west coast of Canada. I'm from Ontario, Canada. So nice homegrown product. And the product that I use for my shakes is what's called the Whole Earth and Sea Protein. And there's a couple reasons that I really like this. First one, obviously, is that it contains 21 grams of protein in one scoop, which is not quite as good as traditional whey protein that most people use, but it's got another bunch of benefits packed along with it that help out with that. So the protein is derived from pea protein, the vegetable, and then it's got a whole bunch of other vegetables in it as well. Some beautiful things here. I drink the chocolate one. There's a tropical fruit, chai, and unflavored. Well, I find the chocolate best for sugar. My taste preference. But the big thing here is that it's 100% fermented. So the reason that fermentation is really good for any of your vegetable additives or mixes or something or anything like that is that when you take a high dose of vegetables, especially when ground down in powder form, they can cause bloating and a little bit of digestive upset. And when you ferment them, it eliminates all of that. So you can get all of the benefits of a supplement and your protein in the same shake without having any of that bloat that comes along with it, or gassiness or anything like that. Fermentation obviously also provides a number of pre and probiotics that can help with your gut microbiome, and that is one of the biggest reasons that I moved to this from a traditional protein powder. It's certified organic. It's gluten-free as well and non-GMO. So for anyone concerned with those things, it provides all of those benefits as well. So I'm just going to go down here and show you. Like I said, it's 21 grams of protein, and I think one scoop is 140 calories or so. Again, a little bit more calorie content than a whey protein, which I think is around 118 or 120 calories per scoop, or per 100 grams, I think it is, and around 27, 28 grams, which is the 21 that's in the protein ingredients. So when I go to the nutrition tab here, you can see what's in it. And you've got the protein blend is pea protein, rice, amaranth, hemp protein, quinoa. And then all the vegetables that are in, fruits that are in it. It's got alfalfa, carrot, barley, apple, blueberry, cranberry, broccoli, cabbage, arugula, cauliflower, red radish, upland cress, watercress, wheatgrass, kale, parsley, spinach, tomato, beet, pepper, Swiss chard, spearmint, celery, basil, artichoke, black radish, cilantro, dandelion, and then cocoa powder and organic flavors, some cherry extract. And then the mushroom, and it also has a mushroom blend, which is really, really nice about this specific protein powder, is that it's got cordyceps, reishi, hamamatsutatake, shiitake, maitake, and turkey tail mushroom. So if you're into taking mushroom supplements, you can take a mushroom powder as well. This kind of puts everything into one scoop and one product, so you don't have to take a bunch of different things on the road or put a bunch of different powders into a shake. In Canadian dollars, it works out to about $3 a day, which is not bad at all for your protein. And because it gives you your green supplements and a mushroom supplement at the same time, it's kind of the most cost-effective way to get all of these nutrients in one shot, and that's why I really like. So, with that being said, the biggest knock against vegetable protein in general is that they are not necessarily and that's true, but it is a little bit misleading when you say it's not a protein. So when you look at, I'm going to go to my next tab here. When you look at the overall nutritional content of a pea protein versus a whey protein, you can see here that the calorie content is very similar. There's a little bit less protein, as I mentioned, in protein, whey protein, a little bit more carbs, and a little bit more fat, but it's negligible. And there's a lot more fiber in, which is really nice because fiber is something that all modern diets struggle with, is getting enough protein. Protein's one of the fiber. What I meant to say. And fiber is one of the key ingredients in your food that is required for proper digestion and to foster good gut microbiome growth. The reason we're eating fiber, not because we can digest it as humans, but because our bacteria in our gut feed off fiber. So the more fiber you, the more your gut microbiome flourish, and better bowel movements you have, the better you general. We've all heard of the gut brain relationship and how your mental clarity and how you focus and your overall feeling of well-being is very highly tied to your gut microbiome. So fiber is very important as in that sense. And then it's also got a ton of iron in it as well, which whey protein. Now, not necessarily such a big deal for the men in the audience because men tend to get a lot of iron in the diet. They have higher levels of iron naturally, and then they get a lot more iron in the diet from meat. Women, though, tend to need a lot more iron in supplement form than men do. So having a lot more iron in this is a great option as well. So that's the nutritional profile. When we talk about whether or not something is a complete protein, that's whether or not it contains all of the essential amino acids that you need for proper health. And this shows you what a complete protein in all of the essential amino acids that are listed here, what a complete protein contains in percentage to be considered a complete protein. When you look at the pea protein here, it is a complete protein in all aspects except for methionine and cysteine, right? And it is very close to being a complete protein in that one category, but it's not quite there. So for those that have a problem with vegetable protein or specific protein, you are correct technically, but it is so close that it's negligible. And how I compensate for that is when I make my shakes, I make them and milk the main protein, obviously. Okay. Also a bit of casein, that's whey protein. So I kind of counteract that to give myself the extra levels of amino acids that wouldn't be coming from. I'll explain what milk I use. When you look at the amino acid comparison for whey and so I've got whey on the left and on the right. Cysteine here there's 0.7 more grams in whey protein, or sorry, 0.7 more percent in whey protein than protein, and then methionine here, there's 5. So although whey protein is considered complete, it um, it is barely more in the cysteine and methionine area than so it is a complete protein, but they're very very similar in profile. So I think that I wouldn't say it debunks that argument of having a complete protein, but what it does is I think it gives me confidence, anyways, that having a pea protein is about as close as you're going to get to a complete protein in vegetable form. Uh, and this particular product, the Whole Earth and Sea Greens, obviously has so many other benefits with having your supplement, mushroom supplemented, that I think it outweighs the slight underperformance of full acid profile. So that's my main protein source in my shake. I shouldn't say my main protein, one of the shake. And then I said I use milk. Now, a lot of people don't drink cow's milk. They don't like it for a variety of reasons. I would say some of them are personal or moral reasons. Um, for others, it's the lactose. They can't digest it properly. Um, for others, it's the fat or the sugar content. And so I wanted to show you the exact milk that I use. This is a Canadian company, Fairlife Milk, and it is probably not available everywhere for those that are listening outside of Canada. But I'm sure there are similar products that you can get that would have a similar profile. You can get the same benefits that I get from the Fairlife ultra filtered milk, and this is the reason that I use. So the ultra filtered milk obviously has whey protein, so it's got the full amino acid profile to protein. But the other beauty thing is because it's ultra fine filtered, it has much less calories, fat, and sugar um, than a full like a 2% milk or a milk that's not ultra fine filtered. So you can see here it has 14 grams of protein for 80 calories, which is really really impressive. When I pull up, go back to my episode on protein content, protein amount, the grams of protein divided by total number of calories, and how to keep ratios high enough regardless of what you're eating. When you take that ratio here, 14 grams of protein per 80 calories, this milk hits a 17.5% protein ratio. If you recall from that last episode, if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. It's episode 2. Anything over 7.5% grams of protein divided by total calories will pretty much guarantee that you cannot overeat in a day, but you will still get ample protein to sustain or build muscle. So this milk at 17.5% is a great option. Milk also contains a ton of other nutrients: calcium, vitamin B12. As you can see here, the full profile here: riboflavin, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc. While also giving you that really high protein content. This ultra filtered milk as well from Fairlife is lactose free. So if you're lactose intolerant, this is a great option for you to make your shakes with, getting a high protein count, a great taste, but also avoiding that lactose if you help it. Now, the one other thing I put in there lately, and this may not be forever, but I've been using Athletic Greens. So my wife got me a subscription to Athletic Greens at Christmas, and I've been using it for about 6 months now. I absolutely love it. It is again a green mixture, vegetables and fruits. Excuse me. But the beauty of this is that Athletic Greens has 12 servings of, and it's only so there's no real protein in it, I think. However, adding this to my shakes ensures that I get all of my fruit and vegetable requirements and more for the day with my first meal of the day. So that's why I add the Athletic Greens. It also has a nice taste, and that helps make the shake really good. And then the last thing that I wanted to do was take you through just an analysis of this on MyFitnessPal. So I've spoken about MyFitnessPal before. I will again. MyFitnessPal is a great free app that you can put on your iPhone or you can put on your computer, and it contains thousands and thousands you can get both at restaurants, but also just regular groceries, with the nutrition content of pretty much anything you're eating. So When you put this in here, I've got my athletic greens, which is 1 scoop, 50 calories. I've got the whole earth and seed protein greens, which is 140 calories, a cup of Fairlife skim milk. And then the last thing I throw in there is 3 large eggs. Okay. So when we look at that total, and they're just raw, I shake them up, gives it a nice creamy texture. You can't taste them. Raw eggs for you. And what it gives you is 55 grams of protein. So when you look at the macro content of this particular meal, you've only had 485 calories, but 55 grams of protein. So 55 grams of protein over 405 total calories gives you a ratio of that meal 11.34% protein over your calorie content, keeping you well above where you to get all your protein for the day without. And it gives you your full nutritional profile of all your vitamins, nutrients, and a ton of fiber before you've gotten to at a restaurant, something you don't necessarily know. So that's it for today. If you want to know more, feel free to reach out on YouTube or on Instagram at rjcrate.com. And until next time, I hope you continue to thrive. Cheers.